So I've had a few questions on how to scrape case gaskets off and not destroy things. My solution is always go to the super scraper, which people obviously think they're gonna do more damage with a big hunk of carbide, but these work really well and I've never had a problem with them. I've actually had this one since 2003 when I worked at an automotive machine shop, and these things were the best thing for scraping off old silicone from intake manifolds, oil pans, valve covers and stuff on racing engines where you would be smathering that stuff on like none other. So the key is, if you have big hunks, take some off. If you have really thick, you might want to use an old traditional style razor blade to kind of knock it down a little bit. But then you just take a pretty flat approach and scrape all that gasket right off, and it'll just peel right off with that carbide. And if you get a spot that, say you kind of got most of it, sometimes it's more effective to back drag, where you kind of just do a little back and forth, take a little different angle, boom, and it's done. But in all reality, these things are great. We used to use them to take off exhaust manifold gaskets. You'd lay it flat like this, hit it with a hammer, and to try to knock off those old exhaust gaskets that were so stuck on you couldn't even hardly touch them with a razor blade. And these things would just shear the whole thing off in one shot. They come with a pretty good warranty, I'm pretty sure. Made in America. And even hitting them with the handle, the blades would last longer than the handle. So there it is. And if you get something with, this one doesn't have any sealer on it, but if you get sealer on the edges, you kind of just take something like this and just back drag it around the side, and it'll pull all that sealer or silicone right off. And that's the way to do it. Don't use a whizzer. You'll just destroy it. Little affirmation on why I say don't use a whizzer or a scotchbrite wheel, such as something like this. Here's one that was done by someone with a scotchbrite wheel, and I did have to weld on this to fix it. It had been broken, but we'll see how well this surface is here, if we can give her a little brush on the granite plate. Some fresh 400 grit sandpaper. We'll kind of just give it a few rounds and see what happened. And it hit here, nothing through here, a tiny bit there, nothing, hit here, nothing, nothing. It's hitting on this front corner a little bit yet because I welded on this, and this might be a little bit proud, but basically nothing through any here or here. So it's all because of a heavy hand with the whizzer. So still can't hardly see anything here. We're getting this a little bit better. This is all cleaned up. Tiny bit there needs to be cleaned. Mostly here that we're having the problem. Now, there we go. Now we got good polish there, good polish everywhere. We probably had to take off only a thousandths, but still can make a difference. It's pretty easy to gouge. This one was actually pretty good for someone with a whizzer, but they're never perfect, and that's why you have to use sealant. So do this, get yourself a granite plate. Got this one for 70 bucks, not a big deal. You always have flat surfaces. You'll never have to use sealant.